Couples that got married during the pandemic had to get creative.
As a wedding vendor, it is so much fun and a breath of fresh air to be like, let's do something exciting, let's do something that's unique to you. And if it wasn't for the pandemic, that may have never happened.
Brittany Shore, owner of wedding venues Morgan Farms and the Orpheum, tells us 3 pandemic wedding trends that she thinks will stick around. First up, PopUp Weddings.
A couple will have a smaller budget, but they just want to have this beautiful ceremony.
A pop-up wedding allows couples to rent a venue for a 4-hour block of time, as opposed to a 10 to 12-hour wedding. Venues are able to host multiple weddings a day, and couples are able to save some cash.
It just allows for a really stress-free wedding and just focus on things that really matter, which are just words and feelings and making the commitment to each other.
Next up, live streaming. Wedding streaming companies are now offering high-quality live production packages.
Since that's happened, every wedding does it. It allows for a couple to get married and just have a really small number of guest count, and then everyone else just gets a digital invite.
Brittany anticipates that we'll see more extravagant versions of streaming.
So instead of like a really small computer screen, have like these huge screens that are part of the wedding. So that way everyone can kind of interact with each other through the screen.
Our final wedding trend that came out of the pandemic, new personalized traditions.
I always tell our couples who book with us, if you don't want to do all these things that we've been told for many years you have to do at a wedding, then don't do them. And they don't.
Couples were forced to reevaluate traditions and focus on what's important to them. And they've gotten creative by curating experiences for their guests.
We had one couple who game night is really important to them, so their entire reception was just board games. And then they had this 4-course meal, and every meal was representative of a time in their relationship.
And couples are getting back to their roots, honoring the things that make their families unique.
We did an Australian wedding on the farm where the bride grew up on a sheep farm in Australia, and so she got to herd sheep on her wedding day.
We're saying I do to wedding trends that are here to stay.